On this week's episode, we will be discussing, could LeBron actually be playing himself into the Lakers' future beyond this year and into next season? Here we go. Hey, what's up, everybody? Anthony with you here, Matter of Stats Podcast. Welcome back to this week's episode. If you are new to the show, please hit that subscribe button. It helps us grow the channel, and we really appreciate your support. What a week it's been so far for the Lakers. On this program last week, we talked about what was upcoming for the Lakers, the Gauntlet road trip. First, starting with a huge weekend matchup against the Denver Nuggets. And we were kind of all wondering, could the Lakers maybe flip a switch? Could they keep the momentum going? And boy, have they. I would say the Lakers playing probably the best basketball they've played, maybe, I don't know, almost 2 years. Definitely, I think this season. And they beat the Nuggets. Then they went on this road trip, which we outlined, which was very difficult and was really going to be a telling tale to where they might end up in the Western Conference as we approach the end of the regular season here. And so far, they're perfect. They're 3-0. They had 2 games against the Rockets in Houston, and they somehow managed to win not one, but both of them. I think a split would have been amazing. They won them both. Then second night of a back-to-back, you thought, okay, they're going to mail it in. They're not going to have a lot of energy. Maybe nobody will even play. Everybody played. They got down big in the first half. They looked terrible in the first quarter. And they once again just put it in gear, grinded it out, and were tremendous in the fourth quarter. Luka, what can you say? He's in my book, he's got to be an MVP candidate. 100 points in 2 straight games. A 60-pointer against the Heat. Amazing. He is absolutely carrying this team, particularly in the fourth quarter, late in games when you really want your star to step up. And we talked last week about the importance of a lot of things, and we're going to get into our main topic here in just a second, as far as effort, energy, rotation, lineups, the coaching staff, all of these things. And we've seen a lot of good effort. DeAndre Ayton kind of maybe having a man in the mirror moment, right? Where he said he had to look himself in the mirror and say, I'm not this guy for this team. This team needs me to do whatever it needs me to do, and I'm going to have to find a way to play like that. And you've seen the energy and effort from him over this winning streak as well, which is something that we hadn't seen, something that I have been absolutely critical of with him as far as the effort and execution level when he's not engaged, not involved, kind of checks out, not playing defense. He's kind of taken on a whole new role too, and he can be a huge X factor if he can continue this style of play and effort, which is something the Lakers have desperately needed. And you've seen it from him, and you've seen the coaching staff not just appreciate it, but reward him by actually playing him down the stretch in the fourth quarter, which is something that we didn't see for a stretch. If you remember, he was getting benched in the fourth quarter because the coaching staff was just not trusting his effort. And now you're getting a little more effort and energy consistently from him. And that's been a huge difference maker. And then, of course, LeBron. We talked last week about the importance of him buying into the ideology of this new sort of role or rotation or lineup usage rate, whatever you want to call it, third wheel, however you want to look at it, right? And it was going to be indicative of his effort, energy, and mentality to see how much he would really support it by really buying in and actually taking on that role and helping this team in a way that maybe you haven't seen a LeBron James do for other franchises or other rosters, especially given the fact that, look, we talked about it. He's 41 years old, but he's still playing at a high level. So would he be willing to do whatever it takes, so to speak, dive for loose balls, things of that nature, be a facilitator, score when needed, and lower that usage rate. And you've seen it. He's been more effective, more efficient, and he's become that sort of third cog in the Luka-Reeves triangle. And it's really benefited not just the team, but I think it's also benefited Luka, as you've seen him in his recent play really step up and sort of drive the bus with LeBron's support. All of those things, fantastic. The Lakers have won 8 straight. We're going to see if they can keep it going as they get into more of the East Coast part of this trip with Orlando and Detroit. Detroit, still a tough matchup. I know Cade Cunningham is out with injury, but you still can't sleep on Detroit, especially on the road. So the Lakers still have a lot of work to do, because when they come back from this road trip, there's only about 9 games left, and they got 2 against OKC that are going to be critical if the Lakers want to maintain the upper echelon and stay in that top 4 in the Western Conference. But the Denver and Houston wins were key, because you couple that with the Minnesota victory, and the Lakers now hold the tiebreakers over all of them. So I think that's going to be a huge factor in the final few weeks of the season for final Western Conference standings. I wanted to jump into kind of the main topic or idea I was having this week. And given the recent play of LeBron and the fact that he's sort of buying into this new, maybe hybrid role of third wheel, third usage rate type of player, picking his spots, doing other things, playing defense, rebounding, facilitating, just scoring when needed, right? And then when he has to turn it on, he's still capable of those 30-point games like we saw the other night, but living more in that 18 to 20 range, which is what we talked about a couple weeks ago. Luka and Reeves really need to drive the scoring, and then LeBron needs to be that, 16, 17, 18 point a game third player in order for this team, I think, to really be most successful. But it begs the question. I think the thought process has always been that this was going to be the end of the LeBron James Lakers marriage at the end of this season for a lot of reasons. One, because he'll be 42 years old. The Lakers just, structurally cannot afford to pay him a lot of money next year to keep him, pay Reeves a lot of money to keep him, and be able to properly build this team around Luka and Reeves with the wing defenders, athletic players, rim protecting bigs, and shooters that they'll have to have. They'll have to get more athletic, and they'll have to be more versatile on the defensive end to really compete for a championship around Luka and Reeves because of their skill sets and their deficiencies on the defensive end. So you just logically can't give LeBron another $45 million for a year or two and be able to put the pieces you need financially under the cap around Luka and Reeves moving forward. So I think the idea was LeBron was going to go out this year, play well. Lakers were going to see what happens. And then this summer's the real big springboard to rebuilding this team around Luka and potentially Reeves. But I wonder, has this recent play or this recent sort of mentality of LeBron, this new structure of role and the way that he can play and help a team win, has this maybe changed the Lakers and LeBron's future? Could he actually still now change the script a little bit and play into the Lakers' future next year, even if it just is on a one-year deal, if he takes a little less money, right? If he continues to play this way, and let's just say the Lakers make it to the Western Conference Finals, play really great, lose in Game 7 to the Thunder. If he wants to come back and play with Luka and Reeves and take a little less money so the Lakers can still strategically do some things, would the Lakers be in favor of that? I wonder, would the fans be in favor of that? Would LeBron be in favor of that? But it definitely begs the question, now that you've seen LeBron take on this role willingly, and I think that's important here, willingly take on this role, regardless of what the coaching staff or whatever might have encouraged, we said it had to come from LeBron. He had to take the initiative and really buy in, and he has. And you're seeing it in his play, but more importantly, you're seeing it in the team's overall play. And I just wonder, would he possibly return next year? Would the Lakers possibly want him back next year if this thing kind of ends really well? Maybe they don't win a championship, but if it ends well, if it ends on a positive, could he maybe find himself in the mix next year, at least for one more year with Luka and Reeves and a few other pieces to ride out into the sunset as a Laker and stay in that high level facilitator, third usage rate role that we've seen him buy in and excel in and really help this Laker team be successful, really help Luka be successful? I don't know. I mean, 2 weeks ago, we would have never been having this conversation, and the national media certainly was not having this conversation, right? It was overdone. Lakers are going to move on. LeBron's going to move on. It's all sort of, it's unspoken knowledge, but this is the way it was going to end. And now all of a sudden, I don't know. Lakers playing really well. LeBron's buying in. There's a lot of LeBron love going around this week from the national media. So maybe, just maybe, could we see a return of LeBron James as a Laker next year, which I don't think anybody expected, but now at least there is that possibility, right? I think the door is cracked open. I just wonder if the season will end in a positive enough way where the Lakers could seriously entertain this, or if it's just, a short-lived opportunity and it's going great right now, but we're still sticking with our master plan. So going to be interesting. We'll see how the rest of this road trip fares for the Lakers as they return home after it and head into the home stretch with those final sort of 8 or 9 games in the regular season to see where it all ends up and see if LeBron can keep up this great play in this new sort of role, and if the Lakers can keep up the great play as a team and Luka playing at a high level, can they keep this winning streak going as they finish the rest of this road trip? We'll see what happens. And as always, we will be here to bring it to you every single week. Where Laker action happens, we bring it to you. Matter of Stats Podcast. Thank you guys so much. And hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next week. Take care.
Matter of Stats Podcast.